Kevin Stefanski, they've had all sorts of quarterback injuries. He's going to start Friday. And he's only had he'll only have one practice with the one.
I mean, he's funny, he's optimistic, lighthearted, but he works hard. You know, he takes it seriously, his craft, and he's watching what the others are doing and you know, doing it his own way in which only he can. So, you know, looking forward to see him, you know, during these preseason games and you know, how he manages the offense. But you know, I think he looks good, but all the guys look good right now.
Gotta do that. What's up?
Cut your Wi-Fi on, man.
Cut your Wi-Fi on.
Oh, we go twin.
Yeah, come on, you know how we come from.
I ain't even playing
Hey, they got
that.
me mic'd up. No.
Hey, we ain't even playing that.
Come on, man. Y'all know what time it
It's
is.
a connection, man. Yeah.
Hey, get out of today.
I know it's love. I like what you
Jimmy
got in
handle.
your hands, though. I like that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Hey, but this those niggas,
I'm mic'd up now.
it's gonna get a little personal.
It's personal.
Son,
You know what it is.
business.
No one expected the Browns' preseason spotlight to fall on a rookie. But after a whirlwind of quarterback injuries and lineup shuffles, one name suddenly jumped to the front of the line: Shedeur Sanders. Just months ago, he was commanding huddles on college fields. Now he's set to start under the bright lights of the NFL preseason, and everyone's watching to see if he sinks or swims. Head coach Kevin Stefanski didn't just slide Sanders into the depth chart as a placeholder. He made it clear: this is a real shot. He praised Shedeur's rapid progress, his ability to adapt to multiple offensive systems, and his focus in every rep. And while other young quarterbacks might get lost in the chaos of last-minute changes, Shedeur seems to thrive in it. But here's the twist. This isn't just about a rookie getting a rare chance. Rumors are already swirling that if Sanders makes a statement in this game, the Browns' quarterback conversation could get a lot more complicated. Fans are buzzing, analysts are debating, and in Cleveland, the air feels different. Something big might be starting, and Shedeur Sanders is right at the center of it.
As you know, and then we'll play Shedeur at quarterback. Been in a couple different offenses since we last saw him, so he's doing a great job of working at it. But it's a great opportunity for all of our young players in that football game. But with that, I'll take any questions.
When the Browns stepped onto the practice field for their joint session with the Carolina Panthers, most eyes were expecting the usual preseason grind drills, reps, and the same predictable chatter. But then something happened that lit up the entire mood of the day. Across the field, Shedeur Sanders spotted a familiar face. Not just any face, his former teammate, close friend, and on-field partner in crime from college, Jimmy Horn Jr. Horn, now a newly signed wide receiver for the Panthers, wasn't just another opponent that day. To Shedeur, he was the other half of a connection that had been forged in big games, clutch moments, and countless hours of practice. The kind of chemistry you can't manufacture. And when Shedeur saw him, it wasn't just a wave or a handshake, it was an instant flashback to those days. The two made their way toward each other, and what followed was pure, unscripted gold. They collided in a friendly head bump, laughing and joking about having their Wi-Fi connection turned on again, a nod to their uncanny timing on the field. If you've ever seen a quarterback and receiver so locked in, they don't even need to speak. You know exactly why that phrase fits them. The moment wasn't just fun for the two of them, it was for everyone. Horn was mic'd up, so fans got a front row seat to the raw, unfiltered back and forth. "Cut your Wi-Fi, man!" Horn joked, and Shedeur fired back without missing a beat. It was playful, but there was something deeper in the way they interacted. This wasn't just two athletes catching up, this was a reunion between brothers who had gone through the battles together. And you could see it in their body language, the quick smile, the handshakes that turned into hugs, the easy laughter. It was the kind of connection that reminded everyone watching that football is about more than just stats and scoreboards. It's about relationships that last far beyond the last whistle. But make no mistake, once warm-ups ended, the nostalgia faded, and Shedeur's demeanor changed instantly. The smiles gave way to focus. His eyes locked in on the field, his posture sharpened, and the casual banter was replaced with command. Because while the reunion made for a great moment, Shedeur knew this was still a proving ground. Yet even in those serious moments, you could see the ripple effect of his bond with Horn, that comfort, that trust it carries over. It makes a quarterback looser, more confident, and ready to take calculated risks. And for fans and reporters lucky enough to witness it, this reunion wasn't just about a friendship. It was a reminder that Shedeur Sanders brings more than talent to the field. He brings energy, connection, and a human side to the game that fans can't help but rally behind. Little did anyone know, this lighthearted start to the day was only the calm before Shedeur turned up the heat.
He's funny. He's optimistic. He's lighthearted. But he works hard. He takes it seriously. His craft, and he's watching what the others are doing, and doing it his own way in which only he can. So, looking forward to see him, in these preseason games, and how he manages the offense. But I think he looks good. But all the guys look good.
The smiles didn't last long. As soon as the first whistle blew, Shedeur Sanders transformed. The playful rookie, joking with his old teammates seconds earlier, was gone, replaced by a locked-in competitor with something to prove. This wasn't just another preseason practice for him, it was his single biggest opportunity yet to show the Cleveland Browns coaching staff that he's more than just a developmental project. From the very first snap, Shedeur looked like a quarterback on a mission. He stepped into the huddle with authority, calling plays with confidence that felt more like a seasoned veteran than a newcomer. His voice carried, his hand signals were sharp, and he wasted no time setting the tone. Reporters at the joint practice described the session as controlled chaos, a mix of scripted plays and unscripted challenges that force quarterbacks to think on their feet. And in that chaos, Shedeur thrived. His first team reps were crisp, his footwork stayed tight under pressure, his reads came quickly, and the ball left his hand with precision. Though no official footage was released, joint practices are notoriously secretive. Whispers began to circulate along the sidelines. Panthers defenders, according to multiple eyewitnesses, were overheard saying they wish they had a QB like him.
I think he looks a lot more comfortable, than the first time he suited up. And I think they've really rallied around him, and seeing that he can lead this team and do.
It's not the kind of talk you hear about most rookies, let alone one who had just been handed the reins for a limited preseason window. One of the most telling moments came midway through the session. Facing an aggressive Carolina pass rush, Shedeur slid up in the pocket, eyes still scanning downfield. With defenders closing in, he zipped a dart between two defenders, hitting his receiver in stride for a big gain. The throw wasn't just accurate, it was fearless. That confidence seemed to grow with every rep. He wasn't dumping short passes to play it safe. He was testing windows, throwing with anticipation, and showing he could run the offense with tempo. Coaches noticed. So did the veterans. It's one thing to look good in drills, it's another to look composed, decisive, and in control when the defense is flying at you at full speed. And that's exactly what Shedeur did. Even in the rare misfire, he bounced back instantly, never dwelling on mistakes. By the time practice wrapped, the energy around the Browns sideline had shifted. This wasn't just a rookie getting some preseason experience. This was a quarterback making a legitimate case that he could run this team now, not later. And while the buzz was already growing outside the facility, inside the Browns locker room, some of the team's biggest voices were ready to say it out loud. Shedeur Sanders wasn't just fitting in, he was standing out.
Advice, he's had a ton of success his entire life. He's the reason he's here is he knows how to get here. So, I'm trying to find my way, be the best I can, and the same with all those guys over there on that side. They've all been great players. There's a reason they're all playing NFL football. So, I believe everyone has their own path. Everyone has their journey. So, I'm rooting for all those guys.
How weird is it that you're now being asked?
It's one thing for reporters to praise a rookie. It's another when the loudest voices in the locker room start speaking up. And for Shedeur Sanders, those voices aren't just talking, they're rallying. The most vocal? Myles Garrett, the Browns' defensive cornerstone and one of the most respected leaders in the NFL. After practice, Garrett didn't mince words when asked about the young quarterback's performance. He didn't talk about potential in a vague, cautious way. He talked like someone who believed Shedeur could help the Browns win right now. "I'm really looking forward to watching him play," Garrett said, his grin matching the conviction in his voice. He's funny, he's optimistic, he's lighthearted, but don't get it twisted. He works hard, he takes it seriously, and he's figuring out his own way to do things. That's something you can't coach. For Garrett, it wasn't just about mechanics or arm strength. It was about the way Shedeur carried himself, the confidence in the huddle, the poise under pressure, and the spark that seemed to spread through the offense whenever he was under center. Garrett even admitted that the energy Shedeur brought was contagious. When your quarterback has that kind of confidence, it makes you want to match it. It gets the whole team going.
Shedeur Sanders has been with the Browns through OTAs, rookie minicamp, and training camp. He knows the playbook, the head coach, the coordinator, and his teammates. And because he only gets one practice with the ones, it's sabotage. You've got to be kidding me.
And Garrett wasn't alone. Quietly, several veterans have started talking about Shedeur in a way that rookies don't usually get talked about this early. They're seeing leadership in how he communicates between plays, how he takes ownership of mistakes, and how he bounces back when something goes wrong. Inside the locker room, moments stand out that fans never see. Late-night film sessions, extra throws after practice when most players have already hit the showers, pulling aside receivers to walk through route adjustments. These aren't habits of someone just trying to make the roster, they're the habits of someone trying to own it. Even the offensive line, a group that usually reserves judgment until a QB earns it, has started backing him up, both literally and verbally. One lineman reportedly told a coach, "We like blocking for him. He's decisive. He doesn't leave us hanging back there." Garrett summed it up best. This is his first real shot at NFL competition. If you think he's just out there happy to be here, you're not paying attention. He's here to win. That kind of endorsement from one of the league's elite defenders isn't handed out lightly. And when veterans start putting their names and reputations behind a rookie, it usually means one thing. They see something special. The Browns' locker room wasn't just accepting Shedeur Sanders, they were embracing him. And soon, the respect for him would extend beyond his own team, with even his opponents starting to take notice. Respect from the other sideline. Joint practices aren't friendly gatherings. They're chippy, competitive, and often more intense than preseason games. Opponents don't show mercy, especially to rookies. But on this day, something unusual happened. After hours of drills, one-on-ones, and 11-on-11 scrimmages, the Carolina Panthers sideline had started buzzing. Players who had never shared a field with Shedeur Sanders were suddenly taking notice. And the name they were whispering about wasn't Cleveland's veteran starter, it was the rookie wearing number 14. Shedeur had already earned the respect of his own team, but now he was making an impression on the guys trying to beat him. Panthers defenders who had come in expecting to rattle a first-year QB found themselves on the wrong end of pinpoint passes and quick reads. It didn't go unnoticed by Bryce Young, Carolina's starting quarterback and the face of their franchise. After practice, reporters asked Young if any Browns players stood out to him. His answer came without hesitation. "Shedeur looked good," Young said. "Confident in the pocket, moved well, made the right throws. You can tell he's got the tools, and he's got that calm you don't always see in a young guy." That's no small compliment. Young himself was a Heisman winner and a top NFL draft pick, so for him to publicly nod at a rookie's performance carries weight. It's the kind of peer-to-peer respect that can change a narrative fast. Other Panthers chimed in off the record. One defensive back was overheard saying, "He ain't scared, man. Kid came right at me like I wasn't there." Another lineman joked, "If that's their backup, we better hope he don't play Sunday." For Shedeur, that kind of respect from an opponent meant just as much as the praise coming from his own sideline. It validated the work he'd put in, the adjustments he'd made, and the fact that his confidence wasn't misplaced, swagger it was earned. Even the Panthers coaching staff seemed impressed. While no one went on record, several beat reporters noticed Panthers assistants lingering during Shedeur's reps, watching closely, taking mental notes. In the NFL, that kind of attention is rare unless you're a problem the other team needs to solve. By the end of the joint practice, Shedeur Sanders had done something few rookies managed to pull off. He'd turned a hostile, competitive environment into a stage for his arrival. The Panthers came in expecting to test him. Instead, they left talking about him. And with his name now echoing from both sidelines, the rookie quarterback wasn't just a Browns storyline anymore, he was becoming an NFL storyline. The growing buzz, media, and fan reaction. When a rookie shines in practice, it's usually just a blip in the local beat writer's notebook. But what Shedeur Sanders did in those joint sessions with Carolina wasn't staying under the radar. By the next morning, clips of his throws were already circulating on social media. One particular clip, a tight window dart between two defenders to his receiver in stride, started pulling in thousands of views within hours. The caption? QB2? This kid might be Q-Bones sooner than we think. The Cleveland sports talk shows lit up. Callers debated whether it was too soon to put pressure on him, but most weren't trying to temper expectations, they were fueling them. One caller, a Browns fan for over 30 years, put it bluntly, "We've been waiting for a quarterback like this, If he's ready, let him play. Don't waste time. It wasn't just local chatter either. NFL analysts on national networks started bringing up Shedeur's name in segments that normally wouldn't touch a rookie backup. They pointed to his composure, his footwork, his ability to make reads beyond his years. One analyst compared him to another young quarterback who had shocked the league by stepping in mid-season and leading his team to the playoffs. Meanwhile, Browns fans on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok began turning Shedeur into a trending topic. Edits of his practice highlights were paired with dramatic music. His Colorado days were being replayed alongside his new Browns throws, and hashtags like Shedeur season started popping up. Even the NFL's official accounts quietly joined in. A short clip of one of his joint practice throws appeared on their Instagram story with a simple caption, "The rookie's got an arm." That kind of subtle nod from the league's own media team doesn't happen by accident. The growing buzz wasn't just excitement, it was momentum. And in the NFL, momentum is dangerous. It can turn a backup quarterback into the most talked about player in the city overnight. It can force coaches to answer uncomfortable questions in press conferences. It can make every rep in practice feel like an audition, not just for the team you're on, but for the entire league. Shedeur knew the hype was building. His name was being tagged in hundreds of posts, his phone was lighting up, and reporters were asking for interviews. But when he was asked about it after practice, he kept his answer short. "It's cool, but I've still got work to do." That humility only added fuel to the fire. Fans love talent, but they adore talent that's humble. And now, the Browns had a rookie quarterback who not only played like he belonged, he acted like it too. The noise around Shedeur Sanders was getting too loud to ignore, and soon, that noise would reach the very people whose decisions could change his career forever: the Browns' coaching staff. Coaches are taking notice. In the NFL, hype is easy to brush off until it starts creeping into the meeting rooms. That's exactly what was happening inside the Browns facility after Shedeur Sanders' breakout joint practice. Kevin Stefanski, the Browns head coach, isn't one to overreact to a single performance. But when your quarterback room is being discussed on ESPN and NFL Network before the season's even started, you can't pretend you don't hear it. And Stefanski wasn't the only one listening. Offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt and quarterbacks coach T.C. McCartney had already been reviewing Shedeur's tape, pausing and rewinding to study the details, not the highlight plays, but the subtle ones. They saw the way Shedeur's eyes moved safeties, the way he shifted protections at the line, the way he reset his feet under pressure. These aren't rookie habits, these are signs of a quarterback who's either been coached exceptionally well or just gets it on an instinctive level. Behind closed doors, the tone started shifting. It wasn't "he's coming along" anymore, it was "he's picking this up faster than we thought." Of course, the Browns still had a depth chart to maintain. Their veteran starter was the face of the franchise, the guy with the massive contract. Benching him was never on the table, not yet. But privately, there was an acknowledgement. If anything happened, if an injury occurred, or if the offense stalled for too long, they might already have the answer in-house. Even defensive coaches were chiming in. Jim Schwartz, the defensive coordinator, pulled Van Pelt aside one morning. "Your rookie's giving my guys headaches," he said. "That's a good problem for you, bad for us." Coming from Schwartz, a coach known for tearing quarterbacks apart in practice, that was high praise. But praise also comes with pressure. The more the coaches noticed, the more they wanted to see. Suddenly, Shedeur was getting extra reps in red zone drills, more snaps with the second team, and occasionally, a surprise set with the starters. The official explanation? Just mixing it up. But in the NFL, coaches don't mix it up without a reason. Stefanski knew he had to manage this carefully. Too much attention could spark a media frenzy and create an unintended quarterback controversy. Too little, and they risked not developing the rookie fast enough. It was a balancing act, and the whole coaching staff knew the tightrope they were walking. By the end of the week, one thing was clear: Shedeur Sanders wasn't just the Browns' future, he was starting to look like a potential present. And in a city desperate for consistent quarterback play, that realization was both thrilling and dangerous. In the NFL, respect isn't handed out, it's earned. And it's not earned through flashy quotes or social media followers. It's earned on the field, in the huddle, and in the quiet moments when the cameras aren't rolling. After Shedeur Sanders' standout practices, something subtle started happening inside the Browns' locker room. At first, it was just the skill guys' receivers staying after drills to run extra routes with him. Jimmy Horn Jr., his old Colorado teammate, was already locked in, but now even veterans were sticking around. Amari Cooper, the Browns' most established receiver, pulled Shedeur aside after one session and broke down coverage tendencies he'd noticed. That kind of mentorship isn't given to just anyone. Offensive linemen, too, began showing signs. In practice, you could see them hustling to the line a little faster when Shedeur was under center. They were talking more between plays, asking him about snap counts, clarifying protections. For a rookie, that's gold because once the big guys buy in, the rest of the team follows. Defensive players also started taking notice. Myles Garrett, the team's defensive leader and face of the franchise, had been largely quiet about the rookie early on. But after Shedeur dropped a perfect sideline throw in a 2-minute drill right past tight coverage, Garrett walked up, smiled, and said, "Nice ball, Rook. Keep that up." That's the NFL equivalent of a royal seal of approval. The chemistry was building in ways that stats can't measure. During water breaks, guys gravitated toward him. In the weight room, he was part of conversations he wasn't in a month ago. Even in team meetings, you could see subtle shifts, players leaning in when he spoke, laughing at his quick one-liners. This wasn't about him taking over the locker room. It was about the locker room starting to believe in him. And belief is contagious. It also changes the dynamics on the field. In joint practices against Carolina, when Shedeur made a risky throw that got broken up, no one groaned or shook their heads. Instead, teammates patted him on the helmet, told him they liked the aggressiveness. That's a clear sign they weren't treating him like the rookie who needs to play it safe. They were treating him like a quarterback who could win them games. Veteran backup quarterbacks noticed too. Instead of distant, polite nods, they started giving him tips, sharing defensive tells, warning him about specific blitz looks. There was no animosity, just a quiet understanding that Shedeur wasn't here to just learn the system. He was here to compete. The shift was complete when, during a preseason game warm-up, the stadium PA announced Shedeur's name and the cheers from his teammates on the sideline were louder than the crowds. In the NFL, that's when you know you've crossed the line from rookie to one of us.